We are live. Hi, everybody. So we are just a little bit fashionably late. Really excited. We've done a lot to prepare to come together, and the excitement of Jessica joining Community Mortgage Team is just over the moon. This group is so focused on just giving back and pouring into the lives of others. And Jess and I met at a very unique time in life and developed a really quick, fast friendship. And we were kind of just brought into each other's lives. And there's so much on our hearts. And we wanted to share some things that we bonded over, some of the things that from a lifestyle, healing and living, and emotionally connecting, and in a demanding world where business can be at an all-time high and we are stretched into all these directions, we just found each other being each other's anchors and each other's rocks. And I found that through that accountability, we both grew drastically. And we wanted to kind of get cozy with you guys tonight, do this out of business hours. Typically, my Facebook Lives are at noon on Fridays or Mondays. And I realize sometimes they're just in the chaos of the day. So we wanted to take a moment, and we brought some really great topics. And this is totally off the cuff, raw and real. So I love for you guys to chime in as we're talking and asking questions and engaging. Gina down in Gainesville, Florida, she says she's ready for a relaxing evening together. Awesome. Well, Jess, thanks for joining. I know you're probably just bursting from the seams with excitement and joining the team. First of all, congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I absolutely am. I'm super excited. And from the jump, everyone has been so welcoming, so helpful, and just ready to jump in and help me whenever I need it. So it's been a great 2 weeks.
That's awesome. So, guys and gals, we are going to start with a breathing exercise. Jessica has done a lot of studying, and she's getting certified to be a holistic. What exactly would you call it?
So it is a holistic health coaching certification. So it's a year-long program, and I'm just about halfway through. So these breathing techniques that I would like to share today, I have learned and I'm starting to implement into my life. So I hope you guys think they're helpful too.
I can't wait.
Good. So I would like to start off just kind of explaining what they are, and then maybe 1 or 2 minutes we'll just kind of go through, and everyone can
You know what, Jess? We're losing your volume.
Oh.
Let's see. Maybe it just sounded like it got a little muffled.
Oh.
That's good.
Okay. Better?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will just explain briefly what the two are, and then we'll kind of jump right in. So the first is a soft belly breathing. And what this does is really relaxes your nervous system and helps you get centered and balanced. So soft belly breathing is essentially diaphragmatic breathing, where, when you breathe, when you inhale, your belly rises. And when your belly rises, your diaphragm contracts and moves down, creating space for your lungs to fill with air. And then through that, when you exhale, your belly contracts and your diaphragm goes back down, causing your body to relax. And through this diaphragmatic breath, you actually have a pharynx nerve that runs on either side of your diaphragm and activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest. So compared to your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight and flight responses, this really helps to calm you down. So through the diaphragmatic breathing, you're able to come back to a centered, balanced state. The next technique that I try to implement, as I'm going through all of this, is the relaxation response. And a Harvard cardiologist actually came up with this and conducted trials where he found that repeating the word one, ONE, on your exhale breath has actually triggers the opposite of the fight or flight response, which is your parasympathetic nervous system. So the soft belly breathing and the relaxation response kind of go hand in hand. So are you getting feedback? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm hearing feedback. Or
You
is
know
that
what?
just me?
You're good.
Okay.
Anybody watching can let us know if you guys can hear us okay.
Okay.
But you're good on my end.
Okay, awesome. So that is a little bit of the background. And I think for most of us, myself included, it really takes some time to focus on your breath and be able to actually engage your diaphragm and your belly to contract, because most of us, we're just breathing in and out every day, all day long, and we're not really taking note of it at all.
Involuntary,
So,
yep.
yeah. So if everyone could just get in a nice, comfortable seat, whatever is comfortable for you, and you can keep your eyes open, you can keep your eyes closed, but just, feel comfortable and relaxed. So on your inhale, try to push out your belly so you can see it or feel it expand. And if you want, you can kind of put your hands in a upside down triangle shape like this with your thumbs on your belly button. And hopefully that way you'll really be able to feel it expand. So take one big deep breath in. And then on your exhale, in your head, just say the word one. And I say it once. And sometimes some people, whatever works for them, you could say 111 until that breath is done and you start again. So we could just take 1 or 2 minutes and go through it together. So one big inhale. Hold it at the top and exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And a couple more on your own. That's really great. So through mindfulness, through meditation, I know, Kelsey, you're really into that. But what the research has shown is that it really just, well, basic mindfulness practices, it doesn't have to be some big thing where you think you have to sit down for 20, 30 minutes a day or more, and be meditative. But these types of techniques really do, like the relaxation response, really tap into our root causes of stresses and disease and really help promote a state of overall well-being. And it's not something that just comes naturally to everyone. A lot of people have to practice it and it takes time. So I have to remind myself to be patient. And, I would come out of a meditation and just feel like, well, what did I do this for? I don't feel anything, but it really does take time. And so just be patient and you will definitely see changes in your life. So through all of this, we really do prime our brains to be kinder and happier, and make better decisions and just be more present. So if that doesn't make you want to meditate, I don't know what will.
That was definitely a first for deep breathing on a Facebook Live, right? Like, talk about our comfort zones and being like, all right, everybody, we're in our own silo places, but we've got a number of people on this live right now that just embraced in that moment with us, and that energy is real. And you guys watching, we can feel it back. So I already feel relaxed. So thank you. One of the things we talk about often is some of the demands of our day and how to identify stress and how to, put the connection to your body, whether that be, physical notions within your body, whether it be acne or you're dealing with personal stress, of anxiety, internal depression, whether you're dealing with just other body movements that just show, okay, I'm in a stressful environment. And whenever you need to take that moment, believe it or not, those deep belly breaths will pull you back to center. But there's different types of stress, right? There's emotional, there's physical, there's mental. Some people experience spiritual blocks where they can't always hear that good voice in their head. They're hearing a different voice. So, for you, Jess, how do you find yourself balancing your time, your morning routine, to just create that rejuvenation space for you? And I kind of know the answer, but I want everybody else.
Yeah. So the morning is definitely my favorite time of the day. I always wake up early. I've loved to wake up early for quite a few years now.
Please tell everybody what time you wake up.
Typically, it's like between 4:15 and 4:30, which is bizarre to say out loud to people. But I like to work out in the morning. I feel more lazy and not as motivated at the end of the day. So definitely taking the time in the morning to do that. Meditating, reading, journaling, working on my health coach certification, like getting things like that. Not that I'm checking it off my list, but like that is when I feel most productive and inspired to do all of these. And I find that on days where something is missing, it does affect my day. And not that I let it, change and spiral out of control, but you definitely feel a difference in going about your tasks without those grounding activities. So, really reading and journaling, I have found to be super therapeutic. They, inspire me, and it's really helpful to, if you don't feel comfortable talking about something with someone, you're able to keep it to yourself and just write it out, feel it out. And it's kind of insightful to go back to it later on down the line when whatever season of life that you're in, to kind of say, wow, I really was doing X, Y, and Z, and that was awesome. Or wow, I really overcame whatever it was. So I also think it's really nice to go back and see how far you've come.
Identify. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. Like, one of our topics is the law of attraction. And, when I think about my life the last 5 years, the things, if you go back into my journals and you read what I wrote, the kind of man I wanted to attract in my life, the kind of job, the top sales, words and just status, and having that obsession with personal development and being a development hunter, and then surrounding yourself with others, and also paying attention to those distractions and paying attention to the cellular ding, 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 as we're getting notified every second of every day and pulled in 50,000 directions. And trust me, there have been days where I spiral out, and there's days where you pause and you're able to go back and feel yourself rejuvenating in. So, it's a healing journey, and, it's not always about materialistic things, right? This is about our inner peace, our inner grounding. No, I think everybody can agree that's had success, that no amount of money can replace that peace in your heart, within relationships, the way we react to others, the way we speak to people, the way that we compliment others and put smiles on people's faces. It's those little things that help us launch forward. And sometimes it really does take us uncovering your blinded stress, when sometimes we don't even realize that could be identified as stress. And preparation, in my opinion, has always been the number one thing that kills anxiety, kills doubt, kills fear, the fear of the unknown. Because guess what? When you have a plan, that everything that you need to get done has a space and a place where it's going to live. And any athlete, whether you're in top level sales or whatever, if you're a master of your craft, each thing comes with special intention. And I think as we as you know, Jess and I, we're in our 20s, I'm almost in my 30s, and we are life planning. We're planning for children, we're planning for space. And you know, there's a lot of people on here who have kids, who have been homeschooling their kids, who have been pulled in multiple directions. What's one of the ways that you feel like you've been able to create like a blank canvas, start fresh when you've hit moments of whether you're low or whether you're high? It doesn't matter what place you're in, but how do you just pause and reset?
Yeah. Um, it's hard sometimes. It really is, because in times like that where you could feel defeated or uninspired, or, maybe unsupported by whoever is around you, or you don't think that you can go to anybody. I think some of the hardest stuff that a lot of people kind of feel is that they're so overcommitted and they always have to say, yes, 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 I'll be there. And for me, when something comes up and I know that it would probably serve me better if I kind of go in the opposite direction instead of constantly like trying to please people, because that seems to be my default in a lot of situations. And that's, it's just part of my personality, and like wanting to help and serve people the very best that I can. So to circle back to your question, we do have to prioritize our own health and our own well-being before we're able to help other people. So when I find I'm kind of in a situation where I don't really know where to go, there are a few people in my life that I really do lean on. My mom being one of them. And I also have been going to therapy on and off for a couple of years, and that in itself has been transformative for me, because you go in like really wanting to work on something or improve something, and then just through those conversations from someone who is not as invested in your life as everybody else around you, that kind of would have more of an opinion. It's really just great to have a soundboard, whether I'm trying to start something new or improve upon something. She is there to support me and help guide me in whatever direction I really want to go. So that has just been instrumental to me and my growth and my own healing. And just a note about my mom, and we can kind of wrap the mindfulness and psychology piece into this a little bit. She, all growing up, when something was going on, I think every parent can relate to this. You are interested in your kids' lives. You want to know everything. You ask them questions. You try to fix everything. And my mom would, try to do her psychology thing on me. And my brother and I were like, oh my God, we do not have time for this, right? You're too cool for that.
And tell everybody what your mom does.
So she, even when we didn't like it, she would always like drop little hints or like little.
Sorry, I meant like she's a licensed psychologist. You forgot.
Oh, yes, she's a licensed clinical psychologist. So that is her trade, and she's pretty fantastic at it. But that didn't always get left at work. She would always bring it home, which I'm very grateful for now. But ever since I was a little girl, she would always, plant these little seeds and reminders for my brother and I. And I think kind of everyone that she comes in contact with, she just blesses people this way. You know, just to be positive and feel confident and all of these other things that we kind of forget about. And I'm forever grateful that she continued to do these things when I really wasn't paying attention, because I remember them. And, as annoying as it is to be 11 years old and think that your mom is, trying to control your life, she's not. And it was just a really, really wonderful epiphany that I had, because, you never realize in the moment that that's kind of what's going on. So it kind of came full circle. And it's just really special. So I hope that Kelsey, like what we do and what we're hoping to do is to plant these seeds and be encouraging and supportive and provide education to people to lift them up and propel them. So,
Yeah.
I think we found that.
Yeah, and think about your mama looking back and listening to this and how special that is, and encouraging for the mothers or soon to be mothers that are watching this, knowing that that guidance over time made such an impact on your life. And you were young, and I've been there too with my mom. And looking back, it was
Yeah.
like I had the best mom in the world.
Right.
Um, but I think a big part of what you said was planting those seeds, and in business, if you're in business development, if you're just in a relationship business or relationship work field, you're constantly planting seeds with so many people that you encounter. And I realize you're dealing with all different types of personalities, and you're dealing with just sometimes unfamiliar territory and working from home now. And, you're isolated as well. So I want to encourage you, if you're listening to this, I want you to recognize the power in fellowship and reach out. And even if it's just to let somebody know how much they mean to you, whether you want to ask if there's anything you can do for them, if God, if the universe, whatever you believe in, put something on your heart to reach out to somebody, do it. Don't hesitate. Be there. Show up for them, yourself and them. And I guarantee you, this happens to me often, where that person will say, "Oh, you have no idea how bad I needed that." And there have been times where I've hesitated to post things on LinkedIn because it was very vulnerable. It was very much a Christian faith background. And I think, oh, work and business and faith, I don't want to push away a specific audience. And then I have that voice in my heart and my head saying, no, people need to hear this. And I do it. And my inbox gets flooded with people just saying, thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that. Or thank you, I really needed to hear that. I've called strangers that have messaged me because sometimes I don't think a LinkedIn message does it justice. And there's a reason that person crossed that path with you, and they needed to hear something on your heart. So, there are so many battles that people face. We have no idea that they're even going through. And on the outside, everything's peachy, right? We're posting all the great stuff about ourselves and what we're doing and the places we're traveling and, the good food we're eating and the new stuff we have. And ultimately, it's creating a facade a little bit, in my opinion, or you may hear the word imposter syndrome, where people may feel like, oh, I'm posting all this glorious stuff about my life. But in reality, in the background, they're going through a battle. And I know there are people that have felt that, have experienced that, and it's emotional. And, we're not here to just paint this peachy, perfect rainbows and butterflies world, and speaking out and getting vulnerable. And I'm just so thankful. I have such an amazing foundation. And Jess, I know you do too, from my Annie Mac family to my girlfriends, my tribe, my family, and I'm also the type of person who heals through communication. And there's some people who don't naturally want to communicate. So if you're those people, I promise you, it will heal you and it'll come back to you like a boomerang once you spread that light.
Right. So yesterday we kind of talked about like my classroom example and sharing. So being vulnerable is something I think that scares a lot of people. And, sometimes people don't know how to do it. They don't know what to say. And I think it is like a scary thing if you've never done it before, if you don't really feel like it's a safe space to do that. But I do remember middle school, high school, whenever it was, wanting to raise my hand and answer a question, and then someone raises their hand, answers it instead. I'm like, oh, well, I was going to say that. So I think vulnerability and speaking from your heart, what you're thinking, what you're going through, other people are able to resonate with that and might not feel comfortable to share themselves. And when you do that, that creates an avenue for them to then reach out to you. And that becomes their voice. And maybe that will inspire them to have their own and share their own story and get help if they need to get help. But I think that that is just such a powerful way to express yourself and really get to know people. And that's what I love to do. So, it's a tough thing, and it's really hard to expose yourself that way, no matter what it
Yeah.
is. So I definitely encourage you to be that kid in the classroom, to raise your hand, give the answer, and hopefully inspire other people to do that too.
I love that. There's so many awesome people watching and tuning in. Shout out to you, Morgan, and the little babies. She's a new mommy, and I know she's been rocking it out, and she's inspired to get back to work. And I know she's got some exciting news, but ultimately, even Olivia on here, one of my best friends. Shout out to you, Liv. You're accountability rock in my life, from health and nutrition to my gym partner. I know we continue to surround ourselves with that. And, I really, truly believe that as we walk our path and we continue to have this vulnerability, the more, the more relationships continue to flourish and shine. So, one of the things I want to share with you guys, there's an affirmation pod. So it's affirmation podcast, but it's called Affirmation Pod by Josie Ong, ONG. She's phenomenal. And if you want a quick power snippet of a daily affirmation, she will just talk you up like a coach. She's kind of like a headspace type coach. And there's quick little snippets, and she does all different topics on, being able to heal your body, being able to have deeper self-conviction and confidence, and tuning into that voice of intuition. So take a note and write that down, back to that morning routine of just setting the day. Like I said to Jess, so personal information, I had recently gone through COVID, and it was very much a challenge. And I was in bed for days with 103 fever, and it was not me. It's not in my nature. Here we are at 7 o'clock at night, and we're developing, and that was not me. So it was very hard. And getting back into my workouts and back into my morning routine, I had said to her, hey, I need your help. And guess what? Needing help is not a weakness. Just doesn't need to know that, oh, I got it all together and I'm ready to rock. No, I raised my hand and said, hey, I need some help. And so she texted me first thing in the morning, and I sent her an accountability photo shoot. Well, not photo shoot, Photoshop at the gym in my basement. And that's just one example. And today was 10 times better that I was back in my flow. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
um, so another topic we wanted to cover. So we talked about the affirmations and reflecting and studying behaviors inside of your own day to day, right? Because if we do what we've always done, we're going to get what we've always gotten. And doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity, right? We all know that. So in nourishing that body and having that self-care time, everybody's different. Everybody considers relaxation time differently. Maybe it's journaling, maybe it's hiking, and maybe it's being out with Mother Nature. If you're in Jersey, you're not outside too much because it's cold, in Pennsylvania. Um, Making sure that you have that time to pause and release, and whether that be from a solitude perspective, or that is in connecting and communicating and transpiring with someone else. Super important. What else should we talk about, Jess?
Wow, I feel like we covered a lot.
We did. 30 minutes went by like that.
Yeah, it did. We're definitely gonna have to do one of these again. I think, something that I've done recently and am looking forward to continuing to do is really stepping outside of my comfort zone and really having confidence and, showing that to the world, because I think it's really easy to, just day in and day out do the same thing and feel safe and comfortable with where you are. but I am really looking to challenge myself and put myself out there in ways that I haven't done before. So that's kind of the only way that you grow, right? Um, and I think especially, starting a new job, working for a new team, or new company, I just kind of feel called to do that. And I think I I'm ready to take on that next chapter. So really getting outside of my comfort zone is going to be, a journey in itself. So, you know, having you as a mentor, as a friend, and everything in between, it's really just special to have people like that so close to you. So I just hope that everybody listening and your friends, your family, you all just kind of step up and challenge yourselves and challenge each other, because we all want to grow. We all want to get better and improve. And there's only one way to do that. So that's one thing that I think, everybody could implement.
Yeah. And shout out to Jay, our leader, who I know has been watching this whole time because he's the best. If you know Jason Leibowitz, you know that Jay cares with all of his heart and puts his heart and soul into community mortgage team, and you are their business relationship manager, and so much and more of your role to come and unfold. But I think you said it perfectly, where you have to challenge yourself to step out of that bubble and ask yourself, what are the things that are what's holding me back? What am I scared of? And you have to realize too, being scared and excited releases the same endorphin and chemical. I think it's chemical in your brain where you're able to say, whoa, like your body feels that same feeling. And if you can control your mind and know that, okay, protecting my thoughts, and when your mind starts to go in different directions. So I'll share something really vulnerable. Something that I do when I start to go down a rabbit trail with a negative thought, or just something that I just don't want up there. I envision a treasure chest, and I take that treasure chest and I put that thought in there and I lock it up, and it's gone. And I can actually see my mind going down that path, and I stop and I stick it in. And sometimes that thought goes further down the path that I would like it to, and sometimes I can catch it right away. But in part of my meditation and part of, visualization, what are the conversations that I want to be having? What are the feelings that I want to be creating within myself and others? What's the type of leader that I'm looking to be? And showing up through action and follow through is the biggest thing. But I feel blessed to have done this with you tonight. And guys, we wanted to keep it short, sweet, and powerful. Would love to hear your feedback. If you'd love to hear us do this again, I'm going to end with a quick meditation. First time I'm ever doing a meditation live on Facebook Live. So here we go. All right, everybody just take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and center yourself and ground, whether you are sitting, your feet to the ground, or whether you are laying down, whether you are just in a comfortable position. Just take another deep inhale in and release. And whatever's on that to-do list, just let it go. Let it just know that it's going to get done, and have a place where you are stepping into serenity. You are stepping into your greatest desires. You are stepping into a world of your greatest memories, and just all the things that pours into you that makes you feel good. Whether it be a hug from someone you love, or a family member's smile, or a time where you've received recognition. Just let your heart go there and allow yourself to sink into this moment and really feel what was around you. Hear the voices that were just words of kindness, and allow yourself to really dive deep into that heart of yours, that happy place, the place that true inspiration lives. And fill up your cup with only positive intentions. Get rid of the self-doubt. Just feel that self-doubt washing away from you and completely rinsing clean, and throw away that bucket and just step into the best version of you, because that best version is there waiting for you. You just have to knock on its door and show up and be there, and give yourself grace and give yourself time to truly just grow. Growth is sometimes deep, 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 deep down under the ground, and you can't see it, you can't feel it, but you know it's there, and you just need to dive into you and be, fully present in the moment. Because guess what? The moment is all we have. It is all we will ever have. And as we continue to look back and learn and look forward, know that there's a reason why the windshield is so large and the rear view mirror is so small, because where you're headed is far more important than where you have been. So again, center yourself, thank yourself for this amazing day, or if you are out on the West Coast, the day that you have ahead, the evening you have ahead, and love on yourself. Take another deep inhale in. Namaste. Thank you for being with us tonight, everybody. This was so special, and Jess, you're the best.
Thank you, Kels. You are too. That was awesome.
Oh,
Very,
good.
very inspiring.
All came through the heart. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and see you next time.